If you're looking to buy your very first carry-on luggage, or you want to refresh your existing setup, maybe it's a little bit outdated to the way that you like to travel these days, you're spoiled for choice. I'm hoping to help you cut through that noise. Today I'm going to cover the 3 different types of luggage you'll find these days. They are a polycarbonate, a soft side, and an aluminium. And to help us explore those different types are the featured luggage in today's video, which are from Level 8. I've traveled around with them many years and you'll find my reviews on each one of them, so do check them out. The Capture soft side aluminium Captain, and then we've got the polycarbonate shell. So they're going to help us talk about the generalized points and some of the specific features I like. Now if you do want to see more from Level 8, then do support the channel by using the links down below. I'll put it in the pinned comments and the video description. You can also find my luggage buyer's guide at onetechtraveler.com, and I've also got an exclusive discount code to help you save on your next Level 8.
You were knocking on the door that I've been looking for. It was right in front of me. I was lost, but now I'm free. And I was blind, but now I see that your love is better than life. Your love is better than life. But I ain't turning back now. It's never so amazed how your love is better than life.
Polycarbonate is overall kind of like your balanced type of material. It's fairly lightweight, it offers some decent impact and drop protection, and it's also a hard shell structure, so you're going to get a little bit of what you get in a soft side and an aluminium. Cheapest polycarbonate shell are generally made from thinner, less dense materials, so they're also not going to last that long. Now, being a carry-on, you can extend the life of it just by being gentle, a bit more sensitive to how you're handling it, and if you're not subjecting it to any kind of drops and stuff, then you could probably still get quite a bit out of it. On the more affordable and expensive polycarbonate shell, they're generally using a quality denser and thicker shell, so they're a little bit heavier. They're going to offer you great balance protection when it comes to impacts, drops, and just the general rigidity. I've been lugging polycarbonate shells like the Voyager and Luminous Textured from Level 8 throughout all of my travels, and they've held up extremely well. Does have some flex as you would expect in a polycarbonate, but that also gives you a little bit more flexibility in what you can pack. There's not too many downsides with polycarbonate shells. It's overall pretty well balanced, but you'll find polycarbonate shells offered with your traditional zippers, and with that creates a weakness in how secure they are. A carry-on being with you most of the time isn't going to necessarily pose too much problems, but zippers are the weakest parts. So nowadays, what I like are polycarbonate shells that are zipperless. They have a clamshell opening and tend to have jaw locks that hold it down. Also deters thieves because they cannot stab through the zipper teeth and easily pry it open. And they don't actually have to be that expensive either. Quality polycarbonates that are balanced, not too weighty, offers great drop protection, improved security, and just quality of life upgrades to just instantly open your luggage without fiddling with all the zippers.
Don't go breaking my heart just because I broke yours. Wasn't my fault. Don't say this is the end when we know there is more. A broken heart will never fix this. A broken heart will never fix this. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Broken heart will never fix.
Based on my anecdotal observation of traveling around all these years, I will say soft side suitcase aren't as popular as I've seen polycarbonate shells. It's probably a combination of a design thing. There's just a lot more colors and styles to how people like their luggage to be. It's also a price thing because you can grab a polycarbonate very cheaply these days. There are some great features that you'll find in a soft side that you don't in either of these. The main one is just how much extra utility you'll find, the number of pockets, the organization. On the Level 8 Capture, which is the most premium version of what they released recently, they do have a cheaper version in the Stride. It offers really robust protection in kind of a ballistic nylon. It does give it extra cushioning and padding for your gear. The pockets are just super handy to have, where you don't have to rely on packing cubes, pouches, tech organizers, a bunch of different cubes that you need to fumble and Tetris pack inside. In the captures, you actually have a side pocket that stays flush, and I could fit like my travel speakers. There's some nice features like the sliding identifier card with your information, your address if it happens to get lost. And you've got substantial zippers that makes it very easy to get in and out of all those different pockets. You're also likely to find an admin panel that you can store your laptop. Weight-wise, a Softside suitcase will be on the higher end of how heavy a polycarbonate shell can be. This one is kind of shaped around your gear and it offers some structure, but because it's a more woven fabric material which aren't hardened in itself, that flexibility part is great because if you like to overpack or you want to bring many things, then you can really pack it down. There are also more expandable options with a soft-sided suitcase than you'll find with a polycarbonate shell. So if you do like the versatility of having something that can be fairly compact but also stretch out if you need to, then you'll find more in a soft side. With extra pockets and organization, they have a lot more zippers. It can get very busy. It also can get quite confusing knowing which zipper is going to open what. Also, having more zippers to open, it's a lot noisier for you to get in and out of your luggage. You're not really going to get any weight savings going from a polycarbonate to a soft-sided. Bulkier items, you want to just stuff as many things in one compartment as possible. It's a lot easier to pack into a soft-sided suitcase because of that much larger section. For carry-on, it's pretty nice to have. That leads me on to aluminium luggage. Compared to a polycarbonate or a soft-sided suitcase, it's not as common, it's not as readily available, it's also far more expensive, and it also is the heaviest. But there are a lot of great things I like about an aluminium suitcase. Aluminium is the heaviest out of the three. For example, we've got the Level 8 Captain, which is their most expensive one. You then have their more affordable Gibraltar, which is actually great value considering it's an aluminium. And it comes in at 4.9 kilograms. These two come in at 3.85 kilograms. But the flip side of it being the heaviest is also much more durable, much more substantial, rigid, and strong structured frame, and it's also going to offer you the most drop and impact protection. I love using it when I'm traveling domestically around the country, road trips, putting in the car, just gives me dependable protection. It's also what I would lean towards for my camera gear. And since it is a carry-on, then it's a lot easier to maintain than a check luggage, which is subject to being in the cargo hold of a flight, baggage handlers, and getting chucked onto baggage arrival terminals. So if you are worried about an aluminium getting dinged up along your route, then you can at least avoid that a lot more as a carry-on. Now, when I say aluminium specifically, at least referencing the Level 8 Captain, it's made of an aluminium magnesium alloy. It is aerospace grade. There are some pretty cool features that also makes it worthwhile, but ultimately, if you are choosing aluminium, it's just going to be a more expensive option. There are essential, must-have, or fundamentals I absolutely look for in a luggage before deciding on it, and one of those are the wheels. So I would only go for dual caster or dual wheels, no single ones. If any of them break, which I've had happen in my early days of traveling, you are completely out of luck. You're just going to try and drag it on. Two wheels actually serve a few purposes. One is to place less stress on that individual wheel. It acts as a backup in case one of those wheels do somehow manage to break off, and still roll it on all four corners because you've still got one of the two operating. The better ones are going to be a lot more silent, dampened, and less vibration. The second fundamental is having very solid telescopic or trolley handles. That's the only connection point point from your hand to your luggage. So if that breaks off, it's just gonna make for such an awful experience, like for the rest of your trip. It's normal for some wobble to appear in a luggage handle because it needs that kind of play and the movement. Really rattling, shaking too much, sometimes even plastic, like that's just going to break off, and it doesn't feel great holding it. So you want some solid connection from your hand to your luggage. Now, the third and final fundamental that I look for in a modern carry-on luggage is actually quite new to the list. It's a zipperless opening, and I've absolutely been converted. No more zippers, just a thing of the past. Don't get me wrong, you can still find great quality zippers if that is your thing or it's in your budget. But stepping up to a zipless is just gonna make everything a lot more complete, refined, and just those quality of life upgrades. I just love the extra security and deterrent and instant access into my gear. Close up as a clamshell, press on the 2 locks, and you are done. Also a breeze through airport security or anytime you need to open it. To step up to a zipless, I think it is worth the upgrade. Most luggage out there have simple zippers, and if there was a luggage to offer more explosion proof, you're gonna pay a premium on it that you might as well just go for a zipless. Across all of the cheapest to the most expensive level 8 luggage, you'll find really quiet wheels, very dampened sound, low noise. The level 8 Voyager has been a great everyday driver. It's affordable, it's pretty lightweight. You got the wide telescopic handles that makes it really nice to trolley along. If I'm just lugging my clothes and a few of my equipment and don't need the highest protection available, then the Voyager is my pick. But you also have the luminous textured, which is going to give you the best bang for your buck as a premium quality polycarbonate shell. The Softside suitcase is just a great durability all round. I like how I can just throw in all of my gear in that big section. It's pretty flexible, so I do have some room to expand and pack more. I do prefer the styles of a polycarbonates, but functionality wise, you're getting some really great utility in the Softside suitcases from level 8 and in the Capture. They don't have a dedicated TSA lock built in as you would in these. You'll have to use those wired padlocks, which is great how you can interchange and use anything you want through the zippers, but they don't have a centralized system. Some of these drop access pockets are really great to just grab and store quickly into. The level 8 Capture also expands, and it does it from the bottom part, which means when it's fully packed, it's not going to tip over. The one in the level 8 Capture actually has more of a front or top loader when you have it placed on a desk, compared to a polycarbonate, which tends to have a split opening, and it's 50-50, maybe 60-40, depending where that zip track is. Swiss Army knife utilitarian, Softside suitcase is a great choice for you. In the level 8 Captain, also seen in the Gibraltar, they are also paired with a zipless opening with just that extra convenience, locking security, and just anti-theft deterrent. Quality of life adjustments as well. So if you're commuting or traveling regularly, those do add up to a very satisfying experience. They've got the Gibraltar, doesn't have all the bells and whistles of the Captain, but you still get an aluminium base body, and the zipless opening, where the Captain does upgrade from the Gibraltar, are those fully metal dual locks. The Captain's pretty much got all the best features I liked in the individual level 8 model, specialized into one. The lowest pricing floor of a polycarbonate shell is probably even below $100 US, maybe $50 US, but those are the real bare bones and cheap quality versions. I would generally stay clear of that if you want something a bit more sustaining and long lasting. I feel where you're gonna start to open up a few more better options is at least on the $100 US range. If you step into between $150 US and $250 US, that's going to be the sweet spot of finding great quality luggage at reasonable prices. I can at least attest to the level 8 luggage with the luminous textured, but if you are moving above $200, then you're already gonna find just good quality luggage in general. And then anything beyond that, it's really just down to your particular taste with the designs, features, any uniqueness. Like the Voyager, which is $229 US. You've also got the Hegent, the polycarbonate and aluminium hybrid. That one's at $239 US, and those ones are excellent options. Same goes for the Softside suitcase. I feel they're at times slightly more expensive than a polycarbonate, so you might not find that much in the range of $150 but upwards of $200, then that's when the amount of choices will open up. Between $150, $250, you're gonna find solid choices to pick from. Anything below that is similar to the polycarbonate. You'll find it's all about the constructions of the stitchings. Any kind of reinforced areas like on the corners, on the edges, areas where it could fray over time or break through the seams. So that's kind of the concern. The capture's actually on the higher end for Softside. It's about $339. If you want a more stripped down, more affordable version of the Softside, then the Stride at $199 is going to offer respective great value for money there. You'll be quite hard pressed to find reasonably priced aluminium in similar price ranges. It's just going to bump it up that much higher. So I would say it's not uncommon to find aluminium carry-on luggage over $1,000. The Captain falls in that higher price territory for aluminium luggage, and it comes in at $1,099. But a more affordable option is the Gibraltar at $439, so more than half cheaper than the Captain. If you want something a bit further but some touches of aluminium protection, that Hegent with the aluminium frames, the hinges, and that zipless opening at $239, I think is also incredible value for money. Hopefully you learned something new about what to look for in any kind of luggage with those general fundamentals, nuance and the differences, what to look for in those respective luggage types. So do let me know down in the comments whether an aluminium, a polycarbonate shell, or a soft side is better for you. I'd love to hear how you like to travel. Read my luggage buyer's guide at onetechtraveler.com, and I want to say thanks again to Level 8 for sponsoring this video. Thanks a lot for joining me. I'll see you in the next video, but until then, keep being awesome. Peace.
Don't go breaking my heart just because I broke yours. Wasn't my fault. Don't say this is the end when we know there is more.